Applause. Iowa and Connecticut. UConn the winning his program in the history of women's college basketball with 11 titles. Iowa trying to get to its third Final Four and its second straight, in its third Final Four trying to get to its second straight. National Championship music game W. Le Edwards and Hannah Stockey will jump it. Music up, and this semi-final show is underway, a trip to the national championship game to face South Carolina on the line as Connecticut turns it over on the very first possession. See Connecticut extending pressure. Nick Mule will have the prime defensive assignment on Caitlin Clark. You see her here trying to deny her the basketball. One of the things that Lisa Biel's worked on all season is getting Clark off the ball more. Here's Clark driving and lay, and Caitlin Clark has the first points of the semifinal. We know here's Beckers down the other end, surrounded and stepped out of bounds, rather a falter did, so it's going to stay with Connecticut. Nick Mule making Caitlin Clark work hard, but when Clark goes right, she likes to get to the rim. When she goes left, that's when she gets her step back in here. Is KK Arnold. Iowa started in a man-to-man in a zone here out of the under-out of bounds play. Deckers off to Edwards. Here is Shade. The freshman takes and hits. Ashlyn Shade is AAK in her mid-range game. Very efficient from 10 to 15 FT and shooting 60% on twos overall this season. Edwards knocks it away as Martin picked up. Her dribble going back to that first possession to Mule, going to try to keep Clark on one side of the floor. She has to work hard in order to get the basketball, and then Edwards there. Just a little bit late. Clark to inbound. Gets it into a falter, who's done a wonderful job since entering the starting lineup. A falter in trouble, throws it away. Lee Edwards on the steal here. Is Edwards KK. Arnold will take the three and knock it down. How about the freshman Arnold and Shade knocking down their opening shots? It's a big moment for these young players and stepping up immediately. Clark side stepping three, rims out. A falter bounce is Stockey, and it's a held ball possession. Arrow belongs to Iowa. KK Arnold stepping in, confidently created by Aya Edwards. One dribble draws the defense kicks. Applause out inbound to Martin. Martin has had a really big tournament. Had a big Elite 8 performance as well. Martin's three is good. Went 6 for 6 against Connecticut last season, something. She brought up to her coach at practice the other day. Lisa Bleer thought that might give Martin a little extra juice and confidence with her shot. Beckers, mid-range, sure. Gabby Marshall is face-guarding Paige Beckers everywhere she goes. Connecticut anticipated that, setting screens for her. Clark trying to shake Mule. Here's Stockey kicking it out. Martin. Another look from three. That one won't go. When the rebound, Edwards. That was elite box out by Aaliyah Edwards to keep Skulky on her. Applause. Back Mule dumping it and Edwards able to get to it. Here's Ni Mule. She got it on a 3-gen. Orma telling us he would need 2 or 3 threes from N Mule to drop tonight. What have we seen defensively from Iowa? They're all up in Cage Beckers, but hanging off of everyone else, playing contained, and NMU doing a great job denying Caitlin Clark. Now she's guarded by Beckers. Here is Clark around the screen trying to work. Edwards gets denied, and it stays here with Iowa. Great screen that. Gets Paige Beckers open. She is elite in her mid-range game. And then the late closeout, Caitlin Clark doesn't even put her hands up. Why? Because they want the others shooting those deep shots. Martin spins and lost it. Edwards has it, although Lisa Blur afterwards told Caitlin Clark, you got to put your hands up on that. Here's applause. Arnold Mule unable to grab it. Here comes Clark in transition. Clark tosses cross-court. Marshall's three. Off the mark, a falter, looking for some help now, and it's going to be a tie-up in this time. Connecticut has the possession arrow. One of the things Connecticut worked on a lot defensively, you see Gino Arama there is trying to keep Caitlin Clark on one side of the floor, so whether it's defending in ball screen action, or when she has the ball, just keeping her on one side. Why? Because her vision is elite and she can find open players if she's allowed to be in the middle. Averaging 9 assists per game, leading the nation here is Beckers. Beckers leaning, can't hit rebound. Clark off the deflection from Stockey. Connecticut back in transition. Clark a bomb, no back iron. She thought it was in. So did I, right on line. Just a bit too strong. Arnold able to grab and finish. P the foul. And a touch foul from Clark, an unnecessary one, and always costly when you think about foul trouble. And Caitlin Clark, an early personal on look at this elite catch. Ryan Rucco. The ball is thrown behind. KK Arnold gathers it anyway, finishes inside. That's not a foul. Did she get her? I think on the 70 Connecticut run, And an outstanding start here for the Huskies in the Final Four for the 15th time. In the last 16 NCAA tournaments again, Nimule extending the deny pass midcourt, Clark trying to shake. Free does off to Marshall. Marshall will drive it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Arnold Marshall, wanted a foul, did not get one. But that's what you want to do with Gabby Marshall is run her off the line and make her dribble, penetrate a nice take by Marshall, here's applause. Martin Stockey has it knocked away last hit shade. This is a Connecticut team that has 5 players out for the season. As a result, they've had to rely on their freshmen more than they originally thought they would. So far, Arnold and Shade have delivered big time in this first quarter. Clark bounces Stockey, able to finish through the contact of Edwards' terrific screen to free up Stockey on that under-out-of-bounds play. Here is Edwards. Her mid-range won't go. Clark, the rebound, Iowa, trying to put together consecutive scores. Clark races in, can't finish Stockey after it. At last, it's her Connecticut basketball under out-of-bounds play, and you see the screen by Gabby Marshall set beautifully. It's always great to get a little setting a screen on the big, because if the defense does switch, you still have the music mismatch here as Mule off to Beckers, looking to take Marshall, zigs her and can't float it in and over the back, foul called. Against Aya Edwards, always something key to watch, an early personal on Edwards. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet in that last huddle? Lisa Blur of Iowa reminded her team when they're closing it on. Shooters, their hands have to be up, something you guys pointed out, but what she wants more right now is driving the lane. She said it looks like their defense is set to not give us any of our threes. That means there's not as much help in the lane. We have got to drive, get action going east-west so we can get north-south. Here is Stockey, thank you very much, Ali. Stockey does drive it and lays it in. Edwards just picked up her first foul. Have to be careful there. Yeah, Elliot Edwards smartly let Stockey go, and Beers drops it out of bounds to Iowa. And a really nice drive by Stally. Connecticut's had multiple turnovers. As we get another look here. Stockey get her the ball on the high post, watch Lee Edward. No foul, no foul, no foul. But when UConn's turned the ball over, at least it's been dead. Ball turnover for them hasn't allowed Iowa to get out in transition. Here's Kate Martin plunging ahead after they sent 2 to Clark. Marshall open short on a 3-long rebound. Ashlyn Shade a 139 Connecticut. Lead in this first, applause, music. Applause quarter, Beckers has it shoveled into her gut. Arnold looking to find an angle, could not, Mule drives it, can't cup it in. And here comes Marshall off to Martin. Martin will drive it inside and get denied by Edwards, and then Shade able to save it. Here's Beckers. Marshall gets 2, or Clark back to Mule, music. Beckers off the Edwards screen, lost the handle. Mule will fire, can't hit, and the rebound tilts out of bounds to Iowa. What have we seen the last couple of possessions from Iowa after hearing Holly Rose report drive to the basket? We've seen that from Hannah Stockey. We saw Kate Martin take it to the cup as well. Now Ice Brady will come in for Aaliyah. Edwards, Connecticut will only go deep. Caden Samuels get.
Here is Mule, off to Beckers. Beckers looking to take Marshall, zigs around her and can't float it in. And over the back, foul called against Aaliyah Edwards. Always something key to watch, an early personal on Edwards. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Huddle, Lisa Bluter of Iowa reminded her team when they're closing it on shooters, their hands have to be up, something you guys pointed out. But what she wants more of right now is driving the lane. She said it looks like their defense is set to not give us any of our threes. That means there's not as much help in the lane. We have got to drive, get action going east-west so we can get north-south.
Here is Stockey. Thank you very much, Ollie. Stockey does drive it and lays it in. Edwards just picked up her first foul. Had to be careful there.
Yeah, Aaliyah Edwards smartly let Stockey go, and
Beckers drops it out of bounds to Iowa.
And a really nice drive by Stockey. Connecticut's had multiple turnovers, so we get another look here. Stockey get her the ball on the high post. Watch Aaliyah Edwards' hands. No foul, no foul, no foul. But when UConn's turned the ball over, at least it's been dead ball turnovers for them. Hasn't allowed Iowa to get out in transition.
Here's Kate Martin plunging ahead after they sent 2 to Clark. Marshall open, short on a 3, long rebound, Ashlyn Shade. A 13-9 Connecticut lead in this first quarter. Beckers has it shoveled into her gut. Arnold looking to find an angle, could not. Mule drives it, can't cup it in. And here comes Marshall. Marshall off to Martin. Martin will drive it inside and get denied by Edwards, and then Shade able to save it. Here's Beckers. Marshall gets to her. Clark back to Mule. Beckers off the Edwards screen, lost the handle. Mule will fire, can't hit, and the rebound tilts out of bounds to Iowa.
But what have we seen the last couple of possessions from Iowa after hearing Holly Rowe's report? Drive to the basket. We've seen that from Hannah Stolke. We saw Kate Martin take it to the cup as well.
Now Ice Brady will come in for Aaliyah Edwards. Connecticut will only go 7 deep. Caden Samuels gets some minutes as well off the bench. They only dress 8 players because of all their injuries.
Ice Brady, a player whose confidence can be bolstered if she gets going early and does good things early.
Here's Clark, dumping it to Stolke. Stolke looking to take Brady. Stolke insists her way for the finish plus the foul.
An aggressive Hannah Stolke is an impressive Hannah Stolke. She is really good at this, getting the ball at the free throw line, taking it in. She doesn't usually show a whole lot of emotion, but she did there, knowing it was needed.
And now the offensive rebound. Here's Clark. Clark will fire. Back iron, no. A falter keeps it alive. Another chance here for Iowa, but just for a moment as Arnold comes up with a steal. Here's KK Arnold. Clark tips it back. It bounces around and lands with Connecticut. Remember, Clark playing with one personal. She's now 0 for 3 from deep. Beckers can't hit the 3. Ice Brady. Clark had to be careful there. Was passive on the rebound. Here's Shade in the corner. Yeah! Gets the roll.
Paige Beckers orchestrated that. When the ball was up top, she pointed over to the corner. Make the pass to Ashlyn Shade. The left corner is her spot.
Huge second chance points there for Connecticut. Stolke bounces it. It last hits Iowa. And the Hawkeyes turn it over for a 5th time this quarter. Kylie Feuerbach will check in for Sydney Falter for Iowa.
Nika Mule rubbing around her right quad area. I don't know if she got hit, but kind of rubbing it out.
Clark talked the other day about the value as a shooter when you see the first one go in. You can see her practicing her stroke a moment ago. 0 for 3 from 3 to